What's going on, guys? Submarine attack for the Sega Master System. No death run. I really enjoyed this game. This came as a recommendation from my buddy Master System Marceau. He suggested this months ago, but of course we all have a backlog. We all have our own gaming agenda. And I put it off. But I was bored one day flipping through my Sega Mini library, and I just saw it and thought, let's give it a try. I'll play it for a few minutes, see how it goes. Well, that led to an entire playthrough. Now, it should be noted that the game is pretty easy, so when I turned it on and played it, defeating it came a lot easier than I expected. Also considering I've beaten shooters like Dodon Panchi, Strikers 1945-3, I've no death, Strikers 1945-2, beat Elemental Lancer, Glay Lancer. I'm not even good at shooters, but if you can beat Glay Lancer, you can definitely beat Submarine Attack. So the game was easier than I expected, because sometimes these old 8-bit ones, for example on the NES Tough, you never know what you're getting yourself into. Some of them can be incredibly hard, but difficulty isn't what makes this game good. It's the fun factor what makes this game good. Its graphics are okay, its sound is also okay, but fun factor to me is where this game really kind of got me by surprise. Now the first level here, difficulty-wise, it's not there at all. The air bubbles do hurt you. You want to shoot the red boats at the top of the water. They will drop items that have the letter S that will speed you up. 2 of those will get you to max speed and maneuverability. Very important to have, in my opinion. It's the best upgrade you can have. And then you want to get A, which I believe stands for ammo, 3 times. Each time you upgrade it, your front gun will get faster. The second time, your turret mortar style gun will get faster. And then I think a third one will just increase the speed on both of them overall. After that, it's maxed out. Those are all your upgrades. When you do take hits, you take 3 hits to die, which is pretty generous. I am shocked it's not 2, but hey, I'll take the 3rd hit when need be. Because in this game, as easy as it is, when you tend to get hit, you'll get hit by like punches and bunches. You'll run into an area where you get hit once and you'll kind of move out of position and take another unexpected hit, and a death can come quicker than you would expect. So we're at the first boss here. Music fades out for every boss fight and then brings the boss music. So as quick as we encounter the boss, as quick as we're done. So let's just do the GamePro magazine review. What do I think of Submarine Attack when it comes to the graphics, the control, the sound, and the fun factor? Well, let's talk about its graphics. On the first level there, you may have noticed there's some lazy things. You might even see them again. Up in the sky, you'll see birds, but they're very lazy drawn birds. They're kind of, you know how you take a pencil and you just do that? That's what they have in the sky for birds. So I don't know, go back and check the first level, see if you notice that. It's little lazy things like that that are going to bring the graphics down for me. Now, I love the way it looks underwater right here. I really do think it looks actually quite nice. I do like the color choice. So the graphics are actually good, but they're also kind of tacky as well. A little more shading can go a long way. It's the whole idea of, see how they have that trim around the rocks that's light and everything else is dark? That's the kind of shading I'm looking for, and they do a good job there. Just in other areas, it's quite lacking, like the ships that I'm shooting themselves. So there's the hit. That replenishes your health. The H. The H is very important. The H will only ever come out if you need a hit, and it probably won't come out whenever you want. So there's the volcanoes exploding. See, the smoke in the volcano, if it was moving a little bit, even just shimmering, ever so slightly, I think I could give a little better score to the graphics, but I think I'm going to give them a 3.5 out of 5. They're good, they're nice, but they're not outstanding. I do love that you play as a blue whale. Well, your submarine looks like a blue whale, doesn't it? Those of you who know your marine biology and know your whales, tell me that doesn't look like a blue whale. It really does. Nonetheless, graphics, 3.5 out of 5. Its sound, it's got some good songs. Level 1's music is okay, kind of annoying. Level 2 here, is much better. The title screen music is actually very, very good, and probably the best music in the game. The boss music is okay at best, and some of the later levels are also just average. I think I'm going to stick with 3.5 out of 5 for the sound as well. Nothing is really going to like stick in my mind and, you know, give that lasting impression that some songs do in games. So it's not bad music, it's not great music, it's just good music. 3.5 out of 5 as we approach stage 2's boss here. It was a little bit harder. I don't know why it's taking so long to focus there. The joys of capturing with a cell phone, I guess. But anyways, the controls are good. The hit detection can sometimes feel a little bit shoddy or sketchy. Generally speaking, the hit detection is good, but there are times where it feels a little lackluster. Again, I can't fault the game. That if you die, your movement will be incredibly slow, and it'll feel even more slow after you've upgraded your moving ability. But the fact that you can upgrade your moving ability makes the controls a whole lot better. The controls are actually very good. They're not outstanding, but they're not doing anything wrong either. I've never once felt like, you know, oh, if these controls were better, the game would be better. They're not perfect, but they're a 4.5 out of 5. See here, now listen to this song, for example. It's fine in small dosage, but for the whole length of the level, it's a little bit painful on the ears. So yeah, the music could have been better, but yeah, its controls though are perfectly fine with 4.5 out of 5. Its fun factor, this game's a 5 out of 5. This is a very, very, very fun game. It's short, it's fun, it poses a small challenge. You know, sometimes I like games when they're hard and they give you that rewarding feeling. They give you that sense of accomplishment when you beat them. This game doesn't have that because it is easy. However, it loops. So upon each time you loop the game, it gets harder. So if you really want to find that difficulty and see how many loops you can do, well, just keep playing the game. But I do wish it had a difficulty setting. Because it would have been nice to be able to try a hard mode where there's more enemies and more reason for me to dodge. A lot of my strategy in this playthrough here is less is more. I try not to move around too much and get myself into trouble. I go where the enemies are, I target the more dangerous ones, and I avoid the others. Like that guy. I have no need going down to him. So it would be kind of nice if on a harder difficulty there was a few more enemies, causing me to have to be more reactive and play a little better. But you know, the game is fun though. Like, despite it being easy, it's really fun. Like, when I played it for the first time, I found myself, like I said, I was gonna play it for a few minutes just to test it out. That led to a full playthrough. On my first playthrough, I got game over. I had to use a continue, and I think I used 2 continues to get through the game. And I wanted to. I was like, oh, this is really fun. This is an engaging little shooter, and I found quite a bit of enjoyment in it. I then speed ran it, and at the time, I had the second fastest time. So I'm like, I'm not going to submit that. I'm going to try once more, and I did a 2 death. I did a 1 death already, then I did a 2 death, and I got first place. That has since been broken by Master System Marceau, which has been broken by me with this playthrough here with a time of 18:30, which is done really well. I really think because this game is an auto-scrolling game, I think what it comes down to is how fast you can beat the bosses. And of course, click the button through transitions of levels. So I can't see anyone really ever pulling off an 8:10. But that's probably the fastest you could be in this game. 8:10, 8:15, somewhere in that ballpark. So an 18:30 and Master System Marceau's 18:32 are very, 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 very good times. Now, I had an 18:50 with the 2 death, and that's when I knew. I was like, hey, if I can get that no death, I'll be that much quicker, and I'll have a no death run. So here's a cool level. I like how the game switched things up now. You know, I like that it's a shooter in the ocean. You know, it's a little bit original. You know, shooters are pretty much always in space or flying above Earth. So it's nice to have one where you're an actual submarine. You know, In the Hunt comes to mind for PS1. This is like the OG In the Hunt. Yeah, here we are in what is basically Atlantis. A harder level. The difficulty starts to turn itself up a little bit now. Now, I know this level well, and it's still quite easy, and I'm sure if you give it a try, you'll make your way through this level pretty easily as well. But I think I challenge you to play this game and tell me you don't have fun. Now, this No Death didn't come as easy as I was expecting. I don't know if I can blame my girlfriend, because I tried Thursday night a good 10 tries and failed, and I don't know if we're just sitting there out of the corner of my eye is the reason I can make excuse, or maybe I just suck, because I know Marceau beat the game on No Death in just a few tries, where it took me a good 15, maybe 20 attempts. A lot of resets, but still, I must suck. Because one deathing this game, or two deathing this game, is very easy. But yeah, it took me by surprise though, because it took me a handful more tries than I would have expected. I was assuming it would take me 5 to 8 tries, but no, it was double that or more. But it does raise the question of how much better you need to be for a no death versus a one death. That whole debate, which I'll talk about at the end of the video. And this is one of those games where I think a new player can get a one death very quickly, but may struggle to execute the no death because you do need to be that much better. It's not just a little bit better, it's still quite a bit better. Like I said, mistakes in this game can come quite easily upon a simple mistake. So if I even had one hit to my ship right now, and I found myself making a bad mistake at the wrong place, that could easily lead to 2 quick hits simultaneously, resulting in a death. This is my favorite boss in the whole game. I call him Poseidon. He is big, he is green, he is an Aquaman living down in the depths of Atlantis. He doesn't move very much, he doesn't move at all. I don't know if he's a statue or a sentient creature, but I like the way he looks. I was a little too close there. Watching that now, I realized I knew I made a mistake when I was playing that. I was testing something out, because one thing I noticed about this game is that the closer you are to the right side of the screen, the faster your bullets seem to shoot. Whether they do or they don't, I'm not sure, but you can hear the speed difference versus being far back at the left. So, of course, the game has to add an actual space shooter style level, and the last 2 levels are that. The 4th level here, I do consider the hardest level in the game. They bring out these kind of more classic style enemies that move and float around in much more unpredictable manners and mix up their attacks to catch you off guard. This was definitely the level that gave me the hardest time in my no death run attempt. Pretty much resulting most of my deaths of the, say, 15 failed attempts would be on this level here. Which got frustrating as fuck, because it's like, come on, man, I can get through this little level. I beat Dodon Panchi, for fuck's sakes. Like, I can beat this, I almost beat Gekido the Shooting. I didn't, but my god, that was one of the hardest shooters I ever played. Great game, though. Yeah, that's a game I would love to revisit. Gekido the Shooting for the PS1. Incredible shooter. Last level is just way too hard. Absurd. It's a bullet hell. This is more like a bullet limited. It's a simplistic, minimalistic shooter, and sometimes less is more when it comes to these. And like I said, this game just screams fun. I challenge you to play it and let me know if you don't have fun. It's not going to blow your mind, but I'm telling you, like, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. And one of the things I base the idea of a game being fun is how much I'm willing to play it after I beat it. There are many games when you beat them, despite them being fun, where you're like, that's it. I've had my time with the game. I'm going to hang it up and move on to the next game. Quick little mistake there, so it made me a bit nervous, because like I said, another quick mistake could result in a quick death. But I believe I find health at the end of the level. But yeah, for real though, like, when a game actually, you want to play it again after you beat it, and if you beat it another time, and you still kind of want to have the itch to play it, it really shows how fun it is. Now, this boss here, I kind of screw up. I wasn't sure how many hits I had left. I probably have 2 hits on my hull right now, so I could have been more aggressive. This is where I've lost time. I could have easily saved, I'm thinking, at least 10 seconds here. I took the cautious route because, again, I just wanted to, you know, execute the no death, but definitely lost time here. Which is one of the least interesting bosses. It's almost like you're destroying something inside of, I don't know, a giant underground station. What would you call that? Underwater base. It's like you're destroying the core of an underwater base. Last level hype. Pretty easy level. You know, like I said, level 4, 5, and 6 are the hardest. You know, I would say 5, 4, 6 in that order for difficulty. Nice and colorful level as well. Now, on a harder difficulty, I would have preferred the lightning to zap at like a more off-time pace, making getting through more difficult. You know, because again, as fun as the game is, sometimes having more of a challenge can make everything a little bit more rewarding to play. So it's like my only gripe with the game is that it is a bit too easy, but nonetheless, it's super fun. I'm all out of commentary now. I'm all out of commentary. I have another game to do commentary for too, so I'll do that right after this, all in one sitting, and then edit them together and upload them tonight. I got some no death runs I've been putting off because I don't feel like relearning the game. But there's 2 in particular that are going to be very hard that I need to find the time to do. But it's like almost like sometimes like for example, this was, I wanted to test this game out. I thought, hey, it's probably meow. Let's just beat it, submit a speed run just to contribute to the leaderboard. But I found out that I really, really like the game. Same with the next no death run that you'll see after this. I was just testing out a game and had a whole lot more fun than I was expecting, and took to that game a lot better than I was expecting as well. So we are fast approaching the end boss here in my blue whale ship. See, the music is pretty good. It's just not outstanding.
Bullshit.
Okay, so we're back to full health. We got no excuses. I have a strategy here. I get really close because you can hear how fast the bullets go. So the closer you are, the more damage it seems like you do. And then I kind of hover just below this line here, and I find it's a bit of a safe spot because your weapons shoot the incoming weapons. And I found this is one spot where nothing falls over top of me or comes underneath. So
let's go. No death run. Finally did it. Jesus,
sure did.
That took way more turns than it should have. That took way more turns. I did like 15 one death runs and like 5 2 death runs. Man,
you're not necessary.
Yeah, this is one of those times where Stampede Gaming is 100% right when he says that there's a big difference between a one death and a no death. Some games, it's not really much different. It's really not. The margin of difficulty is very close between a one death and a no death on some games. On other games, like Submarine Attack, it's like, how easy is it to do a one death in this game? Very easy. Very, very, very easy. How much harder is it to do the no death in this particular game? It's like 4 to 6 to 8 times harder.
Maybe 5 times.
I'm dead fucking serious. It's shocking how easy it is to do a 2 death, a 3 death, or 1 death in this game. Like, really, the margin between the 1 death run in this game... So when I first did this, I beat the game 3 times. I beat the game, used a couple continues, died on a few levels, learned the game. My second run was immediately a 2 death. Then I decided to speed run it, and I did a very fast 1 death. and I finished second place on the leaderboard. And I thought, well, let's push for first because I'm close. I then did a 2-death that was very, very fast in first place. So I've already done two death runs and one death run. So I thought, okay, this is going to be an easy no death run. Let's just do this and just have one more for the fucking playlist. Why not? An easy one, but hey, let's add it to the list. Well, to my surprise, 20 attempts later, I am not getting the no death run. I have like now 19 or 15 one deaths to my name. But after about 22 tries, I finally fucking did it. And it is interesting because it does kind of prove Stampede Gaming right when he says, in many cases, there's a big difference between pulling off the execution of the no death to doing really well and dying once. Sometimes he is very right. In other games, he's right, but it's still very close. It's still very similar in difficulty. The skill set in many games is not much different between one death and a no death. In this particular game, the clutch difference is like what he's saying, that the execution of doing it in the moment is that much harder. And in this game, it's 100% true. So shout out to Stampede Gaming for that analogy of no death runs versus one death runs, and shout out to Master System Marceau for suggesting this game, which I have speedran and now have first place. And I'll check the time on this to see if I've beaten my time. But I really like Submarine Attack, and I'm sure post-commentary Steve said more than enough in the 19-minute playthrough, roughly, of what it will be. Those northern lights are beautiful. That submarine looks like a blue whale. And this is 1990 Submarine Attack for the Sega Master System. Thanks for watching.